What's going on, Northern California, West Coast, man? We are in here, man, with my bro, Wasswa Serwanga, NFL player, man, out of Sacramento.
They are ramped up at the Metrodome here in Minneapolis. The NFC Divisional Playoff game today between the New Orleans Saints, who have lost only one game on the road this year, and the Minnesota Vikings, who have dropped only one at home. So something's got to give. As we welcome you to the Twin Cities, everyone, Dick Stockton along with Matt Millen. And the report on Ricky Williams, much conjecture as to whether he would play. Nearly 2 months removed from ankle surgery. He will see action but will not start for the Saints today. And Matt, what better way? How do they turn things around dramatically?
Well, I think one thing that they've been consistent in is right there, Randy Moss. You're going to get some big plays out of him. You're going to have the Dante Culpepper. You're going to have some plays. But to me, it's about their defense today. If they sit back and play that vanilla defense, they're going to get their rear ends kicked. They're going to have to spice it up a little bit. And they're going to have to take some chances and put pressure on Aaron Brooks, force him to have to make decisions. If that's done, and they get it done the right way.
To the playoff game, the first of 4 this weekend in the NFL. And for the last word before kickoff, let's go down to the field and Pam Oliver.
Oh, Jake, those poor Saints
Defensively for the Vikings, and the onus is on them today, no question about it. To Lance Sawyer, Tony Williams, Chris Hovan, an outstanding rookie, and the veteran John Randall, who will move around. Ed McDaniel, Kylie Wong, and Dwayne Rudd are the linebackers. Robert Tate, Wasswa Serwanga starting his second game at cornerback. Robert Griffith and Orlando Thomas, the hard-hitting safeties.
Minnesota Vikings, if they can handle this New Orleans Saint offense minus the big plays, because they know there's going to be some things. You're already seeing it with Brooks getting outside and buying time and creating some space. They can handle that in the secondary. They like their chances.
Line fracture, so a first down at the 28-yard line, and the pass drilled to the 10-yard line, intended for Willie Jackson and broken up by Wasswa Serwanga. So he makes the play on that occasion.
Well, that's because the throw wasn't that good, because the break underneath was fine. And
second down and 10. And there is Brooks completing to Andrew Glover, the other ex-Viking, and Glover making the reception. It'll be third down and about 5 coming up now as Serwanga again on the coverage. Third and 20, and going underneath to Chad Morton, and Morton trying to get something and gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's all, with Serwanga making the tackle, bringing up fourth down. Aaron Brooks, and falling down was Jake Reed before the ball got to him.
you know, this was good by Aaron Brooks, because he recognized he's going to have an opportunity. They brought some pressure on him. He was going to have man-to-man outside. He knew where he wanted to go. Look, he has this outside. You have people coming up, so you're going to be man-to-man with Serwanga, the guy you want to get to. You have time. It's on. That now is on Jake Reed. You have to win. You have to win. He did not, and that's the difference in the play.
Serwanga has played well since the early going.
Sure.
With the clock running and 15 seconds to go in the first half is Brooks, and this pass thrown behind the intended receiver, Willie Jackson. Defense by Wasswa Serwanga with only 11 seconds to go at midfield.
Well, I think the Vikings came in,
and his 8th catch of the game.
Better than the block, Dick, was the call. Excellent call. Sees it in his zone. You know these guys are coming hard on you. You can see that John Randall got the pressure on him. So you use it against you. And you get your blockers out in front, and you give them a chance in the open space. They get the score here. This has been a fantastic rebuttal to what's happened with that big score.
And Aaron Brooks, 6 for
Moss. And you can even take a shot when you're trying to protect deep, which they did twice. But here they don't have a Randy Moss, so you're forced to take what the defense is going to give you, which is just underneath stuff.
Second down and 5. Here's Morton. And Morton is driven back, but his forward progress will be into Viking territory at the 48 with Serwanga making the tackle.
Now this is what they're doing right now, as you can see. You have your 2 deep here, then you're going 5 underneath there. So that gives you, you know, the 4 rushers. They're not going to give you anything down here. They're going to force you to throw it back underneath.
This crowd enjoying the day as the Vikings have never trailed, scoring on the 3rd play of the first drive of the game, 7-0, and they've never looked back. And they've got a good head man. And still around is Dennis Green, who is going to move on. The Minnesota Vikings, the number 2 seed, will advance to the NFC Championship game for the 8th time in team history, like to reverse the events of 2 years ago when they lost to the Falcons in overtime here. But the Minnesota Vikings have moved on as they have defeated the Saints, and Carter and Haslett shake hands when it's all over. The final score here at the Metrodome in Minneapolis: the Minnesota Vikings 34 and the New Orleans Saints 16. And right now, let's go down to Pam Oliver, who's with Dennis Green.
All right, Dick, thanks a lot. Dennis Green, losing your last 3 games of the regular season is indicative of nothing where this team is concerned.
Well, it's a new season for us. We said that right from the start. We didn't like what happened, but I'm not knowing if we're going to get mad at our football team. We have good energy, good synergy. We understand each other. I think we know what it's going to take. We got our offense going today, and we felt along our defense could play better.
You could be going on to New York, but it could be here, but still, you're back in the NFC Championship game.
You know, we're not going to be concerned about where we play at all. I mean, we just know this. We want to play football.
What's going on with you, Wasswa?
What's up, Nick? How you doing, man?
What's up with you, bro, man? Good to see you, man.
It's a pleasure.
We're going to start off, man, by asking my bro, man, where was you born and raised?
Good question. So, I was born and raised in Kampala, Uganda, in Africa.
Wow, okay.
With my twin brother. So, my parents came over here back in a long time ago, 1981.
Okay.
And that's how. And they moved to Sacramento, California.
Straight to Sac,
Straight
okay.
to Sac. And then that was the beginning.
And how old was you when you moved out here?
About 5. About 5.
Years?
All of us came over here.
Okay.
So, yeah.
5 years old?
Yeah.
Nice, nice. So can we ask you, man, so coming from out there and moving out here to Sacramento,
Yeah.
kind of like, you know, how was your beginning childhood stages, you know, around, you know, whatever, 5 to 10, you know, kind of like, how was you living? Like, what was you about?
So, coming here, my parents just brought us over here. First, there was about four kids. So
Okay.
husband, wife, 4 kids. And we moved to a little apartment, 2-bedroom apartment. And me and my twin brother Kato shared a bed.
Okay.
So that's how we kind of started off, and just trying to figure out the world, and having funny names, Wasswa and Kato. You know, being young, it was just kind of different because you had to find a way to fit in. But
Yeah, even Nico, people used to laugh at my name when I was
see?
young.
Right. And I think it's good. It's just a part of life. It's one of those things you have to figure out. And football is one of those things that kind of helped me, or help us kind of smooth all that out, so to speak. So
Okay.
Transition was good. Parents couldn't find a job. My mom actually ended up working as a maid. My dad ended up doing dishes. So it was tough. It was tough, but family was good. Family was strong. And we were always taught to kind of do our best and respect and represent the name. And,
Real talk.
We try to do that.
That's real.
Yeah.
So going into that question right there, that was my next one. So as a kid, you're kind of going through your trials and tribulations, different things going on.
Sure.
When did you kind of start, you know, kind of building your passion for football?
Football was something that my older brother, Jimmy or James, he went to Sac High,
Okay.
that he enjoyed. So he liked the Dallas Cowboys,
Uh-oh.
and he would actually take us out to what we called the big park. And he would take us to play with his friends who were a lot older. So that's how Kato and I got introduced to
Big Park, McClatchy Park?
No, the park was in College Greens.
Okay.
And we played with the bigger kids, and that's how we began to kind of learn football. So it was really my older brother, Jimmy. We call him Jimmy.
And how old was you around that time?
Dude, we were about 10, 11. That's when we kind of got exposed to it and started liking it because my older brother liked it.
Okay.
And then we just started watching TV, and it kind of grew from there.
So you and your twin brother kind of was influenced by your older brother playing football?
Very much so.
Okay.
So my older brother, Jimmy, was kind of the guy who took us under his wing, kind of told us about the game, and literally took us to games. We even talk about when we get to Sac High. He took us to our Sac High games, and we got to meet a lot of Sac High players when we were young. So that was a
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, big starting point.
Oh yeah, that's a major influence to kind of get you motivated and stuff like that.
Right.
So during them times you're going to the park with your brothers and
Right.
you're playing ball. During them times, like, did you have a certain position you liked to play? Like, what was what was like kind of getting you going back there?
So me and Cato liked. It didn't matter. It just being out on the field was a lot of fun. First, I was intimidated, to be honest with you, when I was that age, because all the kids were bigger.
Okay.
And that's how I learned to kind of get a little quicker, because I didn't want to get hit, so I just kind of just move around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But playing against bigger people, you learn quick and you figure things out. So my big brothers kind of did a great job with that, and I tip my cap to him, because without him, like, a lot of this stuff would not be possible. So he did a great job of exposing us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So out there, you was just football. It didn't matter what you played.
No,
Like, I'll play whatever.
We didn't care.
We want to play.
We were trying to be Jerry Rice. We were trying to be Ronnie Lott. We were trying to be Emmitt Smith. We were trying to be Walter Payton. It didn't matter. Whoever got the ball, wherever you were, is where you played.
Okay.
And we enjoyed the game that much. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So during them times, pretty much playing with bros, getting out to the parks, playing, building a passion for the game.
Right.
So can I ask, tell the people, when was the first time you actually was part of a team and
Wow.
put some pads on?
Wow. First time Cato and I were part of a team was Sacramento High.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask you next. You went to Sac High, of course.
Yeah, Sac High Dragons. In freshman year, 9th grade, we were part of the first, organized football.
So, okay, freshman year, first time organized football.
Yeah.
How was that coming to Sac High? Can I ask what junior high school you went to?
Good question. Kit Carson Middle School.
Okay.
And that was the beginning, because there were some organized games in 8th grade
Okay.
that they were trying to get us on. And I remember I wasn't picked for some of those teams.
Was it flag or what was it?
I think it was flag.
Okay.
It was
okay.
flag. But that's also where you get rivalries. So we had other teams, like we had some friends from Kit Carson who ended up going to Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
ended up going to McClatchy.
Yep.
So passion for the game, like you wanted to actually beat the other team. So that was the beginning of competition, and saying, okay, when we see you in high school, and everyone talked. So, but the game is where, whether you talk or whether you don't, is where you show yourself. So that was a great opportunity to get teammates, to learn, to work hard, but also to compete. And my brother and I really enjoyed that opportunity.
Man, real talk, man. So so now you and your brother at Sac High, now it's real time now. Now it's time to put on the pads and stuff like that.
Right.
Give us some stories about freshman year that you would like to share with people. How did it feel to finally pad up,
Right.
get out there and play?
Right.
Let us know what position you were playing freshman year. Tell us a little bit about bro that year, and kind of break it down. Freshman year, you're finally in pad. You're finally really playing the game.
Right. Wow, that's a while back. So let me try
Whatever
to.
you could think of and share with us.
Yeah. So what I will say is, I'll go back to my older brother.
Because I remember.
Right. Shout out to Sac High folks. Nico, right? He gonna tell you later. But before the year even started, my older brother, he actually trained us for a
Okay.
year. So he took us out running. He took us out squatting, lifting, running routes, covering routes before the year even started.
Okay.
So my older brother got us in the habit of training really hard before the season. So my first season, my first game, it was like a preseason game, and I thought we had a good team, and it was just trying to figure things out. I thought my freshman year was okay, great teammates. Sac High was just a great brotherhood, a great group of folks, and we all grew together. A lot of us were really small, and we were just, I don't even know if we had a winning record when we were freshmen. But everyone wanted to compete. The coaching staff worked hard to help us learn how to compete. And I remember getting hurt my first year. I think I broke my wrist.
Oh,
so
wow.
I didn't really play much.
Oh, okay.
And I started questioning. When I got hurt, I started wondering if I was supposed to play.
So freshman year, you hurt yourself at the beginning of the season, so you didn't really play too much freshman year, you said?
I played a little bit, but not much, because I did break my wrist
Oh, okay.
against Oak Ridge.
Oh,
And
wow.
my twin brother, he did pretty good, and we had a good team. but it was just a learning. It was just a learning, but a lot of fun. But what you do is you learn to play with each other. You learn to play with your team and learn to take coaching and things like that. So that was what happened during my freshman year.
Okay.
It was a good experience.
And what positions were you guys playing?
Playing the wingback and halfback. So my twin brother Kato was the wingback and defensive back corner. I was the halfback, backup halfback and corner.
Okay.
So those were the positions that we kind of started with the wing T.
Oh yeah, those.
Remember those?
Man.
With the wing T. Great learning and met a lot of friends. And
so give us a little bit of information about that sophomore year. What position were you playing? Give us some highlights. Let us know what you was doing. If you want to shout out a couple of team players who were doing their thing that year as well.
I started peaking. So right when we did that, it was Kurt. I think Kurt was on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Miller,
yeah.
the Visgers, Selinskis, the Booths, the Ramseys.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of brothers.
Yeah.
It was, when I say a family, it was a whole bunch of brothers and then just a whole bunch of people, and it was just a brotherhood.
Yeah, I think you guys had like, what, 2 or 3 sets of twins on the team or something?
Yeah, we had 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 sets of twins.
Well, yeah, because I remember there was a newspaper writing about that.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
So when I say brotherhood, I sincerely mean it. Like, we really worked hard together, and it was just a lot of fun, which made school fun and just hanging out fun. When you're a part of something that you feel is successful, it's a great energy for the school, even for the city, because people gravitate towards success and doing things well. And I think we were just kind of on that track.
That's real. So what position were you playing sophomore year?
Same thing. I was playing cornerback and I was playing halfback.
Okay. Now, people, I know a lot of these questions, but I'm letting you guys know.
And I was not the best halfback, but I loved corner.
Okay.
So what I loved about corner was just the individual competition. So I literally just watched tape. I practiced techniques that I saw anywhere. So me and my brother would actually go out and just practice DB drills all the time. So that's something that I enjoyed doing, like, regardless. It was just the most comfortable place for me to be.
Tight.
Yeah.
And any particular highlights you'd like to share with us that year? A couple of things you did, if you can remember.
As a sophomore?
Mm-hmm. Because you got to play the full year, right? You're starting corner, or
we had. Yeah, that's hard to remember. What did I do as a sophomore? I remember junior, we played well, and senior.
Okay.
The sophomore kind of gets a little muddy.
A little muddy?
Yeah.
Well, I remember a little bit, you was a good corner, my bro. You and your brother was really hard working and doing your thizzle.
Right.
So we'll go into the next thing. So now, sophomore year, freshman year, pads, started, did the whole thing, kind of got your position set.
Right.
Now it's time for varsity ball.
Right. Right.
So how was that transition? How was you feeling? You know what I'm saying? Like, tell us a little bit about junior year to start going into varsity and everything.
So junior year is when most you get on the radar for college teams.
Okay.
So colleges start to go, okay, this player's doing X, Y, and Z. So junior year is when we went to, my older brother actually sent us to a Cal camp.
Okay.
University of California, Berkeley football camp.
Nice.
So
this is right before junior year?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we went to the camp and played, and things went well. Actually, things went okay. Not bad. And then we started sending out tapes. Back in our day, we had VHS tapes, and we'd send tapes out to schools, and really started feeling, kind of putting on weight, feeling good as a defensive back and a running back, and really thought, there's a chance, because Coach Milton, shout out to Coach Milton.
Coach Milton, yes.
He would sit and he would kind of cross his arms, and he said, you know what? If you keep working hard at this, there's a chance you might get a scholarship. Nice. And I personally have never had a person believe in me and even say something like that to me at that stage.
Yeah, Milton was one of our realest coach, man, for real.
Yeah. So I want to kind of shout out to him, because if you believe in a child just a little more, they take it and run with it. So that was when we started sending out the tapes and really believing, hey, maybe we can go to college and play. So me and my brother kind of really sent out a lot of tapes and really worked hard junior year, and the team was.
You were sending them tapes from your sophomore year?
We were sending sophomore and wherever we were in our junior year. So let's say we were like a quarter of the way through the junior year, halfway through the junior year, we would send out those tapes. Kenny Brown Grace was a monster. Keith, Kevin Ramsey were just dominant. Matt Miller was doing his thing at quarterback. And then Norman Miller was
he was a star.
A rock star. So, and then we had Curtis.
He touched the league for a second too.
Yeah.
For those
shout out to Norman Miller. We're gonna talk about that too. Cal came and looked at Kenny Brown Grace, who played basketball
all
too.
McDonald's basketball player and football
Great player. So we had shout out to Visger. He was doing his
Coach
thing
Visger,
out there.
Yeah, recruiting, trying to bring us to Sac State and stuff like that.
Right. So a lot of great players and just a lot of energy and a lot of success. I think junior year we really did have success at Sacramento High School. And,
yeah, that was one of the years right there. That year was a great year for Sac High.
And so I
exciting year.
Yeah, so I had nothing but fun. And when you do all the work and all of a sudden you're a part of a group that is successful, it's just a great feeling. It makes you want to do more. So they taught great habits, and coaching staff did a great job, and the players did a great job of buying into the program, and we all played for each other, so it worked out well.
Nice. So that year, your junior year, the positions, same positions, corner and running back?
Same position.
Okay.
Yeah, my positions didn't change much.
Can you think of any highlights back then, the junior year?
What did we do junior year? I'll have to go back and look at the tape.
Okay. You got tapes still?
I might have.
If you do, man, I need those.
Ooh, you know how deep in the
a little picture of it or something.
I'll go look.
I can throw it in there so y'all can see it as he's talking. I'll throw it in there.
Yeah, so I'll see. But it's tough. It's gonna be dusty.
Yeah,
so
I know how that is.
So let me see. But yeah, and again, school was going well. My brother was a great student, and I always wanted to keep up with him. So
that's one thing I wanted to ask you too. So.
Yeah.
Your academic, you guys was taking school pretty serious. What was your grade point averages? And stuff
I
like
left
that?
with a 3, a little over like a 3.2. My brother was like a 3.4.
Okay.
My brother was he was just very disciplined, and we always competed in whatever we did. Mm-hmm. And he always found a way to get these really good grades, and I just did not like losing.
Yeah.
So
you hear that, you guys? Grades.
He actually helped me be better because I did not like losing. It's just not a comfortable feeling. You can learn from that. I get that. But to have someone around you who is working to be their best will make you your best, because you will strive to do what you can to kind of make that happen.
That's real.
Yeah.
Track and field. How was track and field going your junior year?
Track and field was okay.
Okay.
And again, track and field for me was not something that I loved, and I didn't know. Like, there's certain technical things that I learned later in life that I wish I knew when I was earlier.
Oh yeah.
Earlier. But I just ran with effort. But there's more to that. So I learned later how to technically run my way, but I had a good time. It was great people, and I just figured out how to compete. But there's just ways to do it better for me, and I kind of figured that out the older I got.
Real tough. Yeah. But you know, guys, I knew that because I was on the track team that year too, as a high jumper my sophomore year.
And Nico could run. Don't let it lie to you.
Oh yeah.
Wheels.
Yeah, I had some speed. Thank you, my bro. So that year, now you done built all of this up, man. You know what I'm saying? You done got faster from running track. You got your varsity experience. Now it's time for the crucial year, varsity year. Let's go into varsity year, man. You started in the summer again, of course, at the beginning.
Right.
Kind of break that down. You know, the beginning now, you know this is your last year. You got colleges potentially looking at you. Kind of break that down. So senior year.
Senior year was a fun year because it's the end.
And this is the year I finally got to play with my bro.
It was a lot of fun. Again, Nico will tell you, it was a family, but it was a mature family. Shout out to Joe Farrell. Why did I just think about Joe Farrell?
Okay, yeah. Joe.
Corey. There were actually Andy Bevins. Was Andy? No.
Andy Bevins? Yeah,
Andy Bevins was
junior year, yep. And I think he made it in baseball, right?
Yeah.
So, senior year in high school. Okay, so playing corner again.
Right.
Did you play anything else?
No, mostly corner.
So I'll give you guys a little story, man. I got blessed, man, to play with these guys, man. And these guys, him and his brother, man, stupid, hard-working, man. These guys was fucking buff. These guys was already had their college bodies going. And, I mean, these guys used to mess with me. Because I was a scout guy on a receiver, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going out there, you know, and these guys are smacking me. Even if I'm not even getting the ball, you know what I'm saying? They catching me on crackbacks and all types of stuff, man. Really helped me out on my game, you know what I'm saying, for real. So I appreciate y'all, man. I learned a lot from you guys, playing with you guys, man. And I appreciate it. So these guys were two, man, you got two twins, man. One on the left, one on the right. Corners, man, locking stuff down, playing good, man, smacking cats, you know. So that was pretty tight, man, to see that, man. Can you give us some highlights from you know, your senior year? Can you remember any highlights from that year?
Senior year, I just remember we got to play in the Optimus game. And then I got a pick in the Optimus game. And I wasn't even accepted to the Optimus game.
Oh,
so,
okay.
and the reason why, there was another corner who was accepted and someone got hurt. So I went to watch my brother who went to the Optimus game, and I was sitting outside the fence.
Okay.
So then the head coach says, we need a corner. My brother says, my brother's out there, he can play corner. The coach works me out, and then they put me on the Optimus team, and then I play corner, and then I get the pick in the game.
Oh, wow.
So the reason why I tell you that story is not because I was good, because they didn't even put me on the team. I knew I was good, but I just didn't get the opportunity. But I just sat around the fence, and I was like, and I remember thinking, I know I should be playing this game. And once they said we could try you out, I promised myself one thing. By the end of this workout, there is no way they're going to say no. And that's something that I learned playing football, is that if you get any opportunity, you have to kick the door all the way in. And I want young people to understand that, is that opportunities, if they come, you have to grab them. So I hope to, there might be only one or two kids who really hear that and it means something to them. But some people told me certain things in my life and they helped me. So hopefully I can tell you. And
Real talk, bro. Preach to them.
You can kind of take it and run with it. Because I did my running, so I hope you get to do yours.
Man, tight. So you got to play in the Optimus game,
Yeah.
man. And Cato, right? He played wingback too that year,
So
right?
I played wing.
Yeah, he was busting. He was doing his thing too,
Yeah,
both
that counter.
sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, tight, man. So, man, like I said, man, these guys, man, I got to play with these guys and, you know, firsthand to see it, man. So it's pretty exciting to see it and see their success, which you guys don't know about yet, but we're going to start going to the successes. So, senior year, did you run track?
Yes, ran track again senior year.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good experience. I don't have anything special to say about track and field. I just did my best.
But it helped you with your speed and everything.
And it did help. It was good cross training, and yeah. Coach Allen, shout out.
So we got this high school career, man. And so during these times of your senior year, did you have colleges looking at you, or what's the story behind all of that?
So we had letters where we sent cards and letters out.
Okay.
And they would send letters back, but no coaches came and saw us specifically.
Okay.
But we did get, Cato got an offer from San Jose State.
Okay.
The San Jose State person came over to the house and actually offered. He said, we're looking at you, but you know, your brother, you know, he needs to develop a few other things. We're not looking at him right now.
So you said they were looking at your brother and they were kind of deciding on you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they said not this time to me. But we ended up...
Trials and tribulations, you guys.
It's honest. And we ended up, at the end of the day, we ended up getting a partial scholarship to Sac State.
Okay.
And that partial scholarship was half a scholarship and financial aid. So we didn't have to pay anything. So we both got that. So that was a very exciting time for us, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So all the work kind of paid off and we're excited. So...
And so you graduating. Yeah. Sac State is offering you something.
Yeah.
What happened? What did you and your brother end up doing after that? Where did you guys decide to go to Sac State? What happened?
Good question. So we did go to Sac State. Started off at Sac State.
Started off at Sac State. Kenny Brown too? Kenny Brown was what you guys did.
Yeah, Kenny went.
Yeah.
And what happened
'Cause
was,
I remember, like you said, because Visker, he invited us to Sac State that year to watch you guys because he was trying to bring us to Sac State next. Me and Henry and Patrick and Joey. Yeah, so we got to come into a game and kind of watch you guys.
wow.
So Sac State that year.
Right. So Sac State that year, and what happened was Sac State had what's called a referendum. So they were saying there's a chance we could shut down our football program based on some financial situations going on, and they were having a vote on whether they should keep football or not. And because of that, me and my brother had a conversation, and I was like, hey, you know what, we need to just leave. So we did have a conversation, and then we ended up leaving Sac State.
Okay.
So we said, you know what? We didn't know where we were going to go. We're like, no, if they're going to have a referendum, we know there's football out there. We know we could play, so we're going to leave. So we go in and we leave, and we're about to sign up with Sac City. So we started practicing with Sac City.
One of the last time I remember that summer, I seen you guys at Sac City.
Right.
I think a year out. I think you guys were training. It was because it was after my senior year, and that summer going, So, and I remember I was out there and I seen you guys. I think you guys were just kind of doing some training or something.
Right.
So you're going to go to Sac City.
Right.
Okay.
So the coaches there felt comfortable with us coming over, and they said, hey, you come here, you play a year. You guys are D1. So if you guys come here, do what we think you're capable of doing, you have a chance to be successful and get a D1 scholarship. So we felt very comfortable in our abilities, and the coaching staff in Sac City at that time was a great junior college.
Sac City was a big program back then.
So just a little tidbit. So we took the risk of leaving a scholarship, which we knew we had potentially, but they might cancel it, because we bet on our skills. We said, hey, you know what? We're good students. We're good players. We go to Sac City, we have a good chance of finding another place. And we did. We went to Sac City, we practiced, and what happened was the head coach from Sac State, which was Clemens, ends up getting a job offer at University of Pacific.
Okay.
He, once he gets his job, calls us at Sac City, then offers us a scholarship at UOP. So he actually ended up giving us full scholarships at UOP before we even enrolled in Sac City. It sounds a little crazy. But those scholarships were expensive, $25,000 a year. So we felt that was a good come up, and we accepted, and we went to UOP before we even enrolled in Sac City.
Nice.
So we did get the scholarships.
So what happened once you got to ULP? I know the story, but you tell the people.
So we got to UOP, and one thing I do want to say is, what you do in practice shows up when you play in games. And the reason why I say that is because Sac City was so competitive in practice, is that we went to UOP so confident when we did our drills and our one-on-ones and we competed with the wide receivers, we literally were battling every day. And it was so intense that the receivers thought that we didn't like them. But it wasn't that we didn't like them. It was just that Sac City, they created a culture where you have to compete. So once we brought that over to UOP, it was uncomfortable. But me and my brother only knew that way.
Yeah, you guys were like that in high school. I remember that too. And I was like, damn, y'all just y'all used to smack me when I was looking.
and it's you could take it personal or not, but here's the thing about the sport of football. Football is a competitive sport, but you have to believe and literally impose your will on the other person.
For real.
And that is a habit that you begin in practice. You don't.
Or it's going to be imposed on you, real.
Right. It's one way or the other, and that's what football teaches, a very straight up rule about working to be your best and showing that out consistently. And once we did that at UOP, we sat out for the first 4 games, and then we got accepted, and then Caton ended up finishing that year with 4 interceptions, and I ended up finishing that year with 3 interceptions. But we just played with the same confidence and the same belief that we had when we went to Sac High. Then we carried it over to Sac City. We just brought it over to UOP, and that helped us become successful. And I thought we did a really good job at UOP in the few games that we were there, because we led the team in interceptions. He was 1, I was 2, and we did the tackles and the other things. So
that's 7 Serwanga interceptions.
That's right.
Man.
Without a full season.
So this is like your breakout year, you can kind of say then.
I would say it was a breakout year, and just I want to kind of preface with, before at Sac State, Cato got Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
So I didn't get Rookie of the Year. He got it, and I was a little angry that I didn't play as much as I liked. So I really wanted to leave Sac State. So I want to at least say that. But he did a great job in his first year at Sac State. And I just was looking around saying, oh, I think maybe this might not be the best fit because I'm not really getting to play. Maybe they're just waiting. So the transfer was something that I was really liking to do because I felt I could play. So.
Oh, wow.
So
and then that year at Pacific, that was your sophomore year?
That was sophomore year.
Okay, that was your sophomore year.
Sophomore year, and it was a good year collectively.
So after that year, so you're going into your junior year in college.
Right.
So go ahead and tell the story about this.
Okay. So what happened at University of the Pacific is they actually ended up closing or canceling their football program in the off season. So we finished the sophomore year. We go into the off season. We ended up getting calls, all the players and staff. Hey, at this time we're going to cancel our football program.
Oh, wow.
Based on financial reasons and things of that nature. So it starts again.
So how did that feel? How did you feel when they're like, oh,
That
wow,
was
man,
around.
we just got here and got comfortable, and
Right.
now they're shutting down the football program, which we thought was going to happen at Sac State. Now
It happened. It was
here.
It was strange, but it was a blessing in disguise. And the reason why was because once they canceled the program, all the players were open to transfer, get other scholarships. So it almost was like being re-recruited. So teams would actually come and recruit to fill for their positions. And this was all Pac-10, this was Big Ten, this was all kinds of teams were looking for players. So we got opportunities to get to travel and get scholarships.
So what happened? Where'd you get scholarships at?
So my brother really liked Cal.
Okay.
And he ended up getting a scholarship. We took a trip down there and they did the whole thing, got us out there for the weekend. My mom, we stayed at the hotel out there, and they offered my brother a scholarship. They offered both of us, but he accepted.
And this is to Cal Berkeley?
UC Berkeley.
Okay.
And it was his dream school. It was a school he wanted. He felt really good. And he's a kind of a Berkeley kind of guy, so he fit right in.
So brother gets a scholarship with Cal Berkeley?
He does.
Wow.
And I get one to UCLA.
UCLA. So you hear that, you guys? Twin brothers, one to Berkeley, one to UCLA, two major Pac-10, Pac-12 now programs.
Right.
You know, a dream for a lot of football players, man. So these guys went to major universities and played. So this is junior year.
This is going into
junior
year. So great opportunity, and a lot of the players at UOP got to meet those great guys and great coaching staff, and they also filtered into the Pac-10, or Pac-12 now, which was back then the Pac-10.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to see each other again, like Nigel Burton and those guys, and who ended up playing for Washington.
Okay.
But it was an opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Someone ends up calling UCLA saying we have a player. UCLA comes looking, and then things connected, and I got a chance to go to the school that I dreamed of going to, which is UCLA.
Yeah,
and,
major program.
I try to take advantage of every day. And
I've been to that campus too. It's a nice campus.
It's almost perfect, and it's hard to say that. I'm biased now because I went there, but when I got there, I couldn't believe that people went to school there because it just looked too perfect.
Yeah, it's like right outside of Beverly Hills or something, right?
Yeah. It's in Westwood, and you have to see it to believe it. UCLA, to me, was my dream. So imagine you dreaming about something and you getting it.
From the Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles, California, Fox Sports West 2 presents USC football today. The intra-city battle continues between the Trojans of the University of Southern California and their crosstown rivals, the Bruins of UCLA. And a pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to the 67th meeting between USC and UCLA. Welcome to the Coliseum, where 92,000 capacity are expected to be on hand to cheer for their favorite club. I'm Tom Kelly. My broadcast partner is Craig Fertig, a man who has the rare distinction of having played in this game and coached in it, and it is every bit as exciting as people make it out to be.
I've got goosebumps today. I played in it. I coached in it for 37 years.
That's scary. It really is scary. And I've seen that many of them, too, and that's even scarier from my point of view. The Bruins come into this ball game heavily favored against the Trojans. Number 57, McGee. For UCLA, Ruckman, Holland, and Ford up front. McGee, who just figured in that big play, Wilmer, Ian Badeo, and Serwanga in the linebacker spots, and Guidry, Bell, Atkins, and Williams. I know. I mean, are you kidding me? Sherman in motion, the pitch to Chad Morton. Sherman going in motion, and Morton is dropped for a loss back at about the 16-yard line. That'll make it second down and about 14 at the 16-yard line.
That's a good job by Serwanga, the corner, coming inside and makes a play, because Chad Morton is awfully quick and awfully fast. That's a good open field tackle.
8 minutes remain in this football game, and under 8 minutes now as the seconds tick away. 31-21 UCLA. Downfield, intercepted, picked off by Serwanga, and that will end it at the Bruin 23-yard line. So Fox is intercepted twice. UCLA drops the ball once. Only 3 turnovers in this bitterly contested crosstown rivalry. And the Bruins will end up with a record of 9-2, and what a job they've done since the opening game losses to Tennessee and Washington State. But if it holds up from up north, the score Washington State, Washington, the Bruins still won't go to the Rose Bowl. So they will just go through the motions now with a minute 15 and run the clock out. SC has no timeouts.
Every day was a special day for me.
Man, so kind of let us know a little bit about that year, man.
College was, so my college year, my first year was actually a good year for me. I think I had it's from statistics, I think I ended up with 4 interceptions, 5 sacks, maybe second or third on the team for tackles, and had a lot of fun. Ended up getting Rookie of the Year. But I grew into my own. Lost some games, won some games. My confidence started to grow because I was out there by myself. That was the first time I was
separated from your brother.
Yep, I was ever alone. So, me personally, what I chose to do was before I left, I made my brother a promise. I made my family a promise. And then when I went to UCLA, I'll never forget, I had a Walkman. So all I would do was I would write my list of things to do, my school assignments, and I would say my football assignments, and I was just a machine. I would just put my Walkman on, do my work, practice hard. I didn't socialize as much as most people would because I was so focused on the goals and just representing the name. And I don't remember, I didn't look up. I was just, every single day, I got work to get better and better, and I had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, you guys see the picture too. I'm gonna post that for you guys. So, pretty exciting year, man. You got to play that year at UCLA, man. I know you're excited. You had a good season. I mean, 4 interceptions, 5 sacks, and that's a good season, man. Congratulations on that. Any like future stars? Anybody playing on that team? Any recognizable names that people might know that was playing on that team with you guys?
We had a great team. We had Cade McNown, who ended up getting drafted by the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, quarterback.
Yeah, and then we had Skip Hicks. We had Sean Williams.
Skip Hicks, running back.
Skip Hicks is running back. Yeah. We had Sean Williams, who was our safety. He ended up going to the Giants.
Okay.
We had Larry Atkins, who was on my recruiting trips. He was my host.
Okay.
Shout out to Larry Atkins, and he ended up going to Kansas City Chiefs.
Nice.
And he ended up playing. I met him. I actually ended up playing Kansas City for a little bit before I got cut there. But I saw him in the league. A lot of great players. So many All-Americans. We had. The difference is at UCLA, everyone was like all something. So it was important for me to kind of work to do my best because everybody was. Wherever they were in high school, they were like probably the best one there. So I had to work twice as hard, and I put on a lot of weight. I grew out of corner. They moved me to safety because I got real thick.
I thought I seen something too. I think they have you on the chart as a linebacker or something too. Or something?
Right. So that's what they ended up moving me to. It's called a rover position, which is more of a linebacker.
That's
so
a good position.
You'll see from the pictures, I got pretty thick. So, but it was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you got your big college experience from a junior year.
Sure.
What happened senior year?
Senior year was it was a great year actually. Developed a little more, worked out with my twin brother, and just gained more confidence in the defense, in the position, in myself, and ended up having some really good games. Ended up with another probably about 3 picks.
You said 3 picks?
3 picks.
Okay.
5 sacks, tackles, second on
your
the team
game.
in tackles for losses.
Nice.
Really great. Played my best games, like against Houston in one half. I had a interception, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, couple tackles for losses. This was all by halftime. Then we went and beat Texas, had good games there. And again, it was still competition. So I started the season actually. After my junior year, I went back and I was a backup again. So I had to earn my way back to starting. So I didn't start until the second game into my senior year. So it was still challenges. They didn't want to just give me a starting job. So a lot of fun.
You got to put in your work.
Yeah, the work doesn't stop.
So did you just play football in college? Did you run any track anymore or anything like that? Or
No.
strictly football?
Football at UCLA, quarter systems, very fast academic system. I made honor roll a few times there.
Let them know.
That's 3.0 or above. And I enjoyed school. Met my future wife there.
Wow, congratulations.
I tried to get everything I could out of UCLA and it was a great partnership. I enjoyed it every day.
Yeah, that's real, man.
Yeah.
You honest. So you just played, and so you graduated from UCLA?
Yes, I did play and graduate from UCLA.
And what about that year? Was there any recognizable names that you played with that year? Pretty much the same names? Or?
Same names. Jimmy McElroy, Brendan Iambadejo, I'm sure you know, who ended up playing for the Baltimore Ravens, who ended up winning the Super Bowl. Brian Wilmer is another great player. A lot of Todd McBride, who played for the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, man,
And then your brother, he was having some good seasons at Cal as well?
Gato had a good senior year at Cal as well, and he ended up, having a really good season at Cal.
So, man, college, man, UCLA, man, trials and tribulations to get there, bro, and you did it, man, and congratulations on that, man. So now it starts getting to the crucial parts in life. UCLA, you had your experience, you graduated, man, as a good scholar, as a good student athlete. What's on your mind next, man? Are you looking at the NFL? You thinking you want to go pro? Did you have any teams talking to you? Did you get drafted? Did you walk on? Kind of let the people know how that works out for you.
Okay, so I ended up with a degree in psychology, and what I first did was I thought I was going to get drafted.
Okay.
So that's going to be with I ended up getting a free agent contract with the Chicago Bears.
Okay, so did you walk on? How did that whole thing?
So free agency is where you go through the draft, and then they go through all rounds. It was first through 6 rounds. Sometimes they had a 7th, but I don't think they did. And then after that, whoever they don't sign, they call the next day and they make offers. So my brother got a couple offers, and he ended up getting signed by the New England Patriots.
Okay. I
got a call, and I ended up getting signed by the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
So then what happens after that is a couple weeks after that, you go into training camp. So then you fly out, and then you do a rookie camp, which is a couple weeks of learning the defense, playing against an offense. They fly you out there, you stay in a hotel, and you're just a professional. So that's the beginning of being a professional. And it was intense. It's an intense experience.
So you went to Chicago as a free agent?
I did. Me and Jimmy McElroy from UCLA went to Chicago as free agents.
So how was that experience, man? You're like, I'm putting on a NFL jersey, man. And, after putting on that great UCLA jersey, now you're putting a professional jersey on. Kind of let us know what happened with the Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears was a great experience for me, but I was playing safety. So they
Okay.
moved me to safety, and I was playing, and I had to learn the defense. And as a free agent, the reps come from, if you're first round, you get the most reps. Second round, they'll give you a few more. And by the time you're a free agent, they might give you a couple reps every day of practice, which means you have to learn by watching the tape and watching the players in front of you. So you only get a couple reps a day. So you don't want to mess up the couple reps, because those are the reps that they watch on film and decide whether to keep you or cut you.
Oh, wow, okay.
So your learning is really, you have to learn really fast, is because if you go out there for 2 plays, you mess up 2 plays, they'll send you home. So it was very intense in that people were getting sent home every other day.
So it's important to be into that playbook. It's very important.
Everything's important. You were fined for being late by a minute. You could be fined $5,000, $10,000 for being late. To me, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So everything that you learn how to do up until that point, in terms of being on time, reading your playbook, understanding your responsibilities, those things that you did in school, those things you did in football, they all come into play, because everything matters. Where you sit, what foot's up, what you're paying attention to, who you're talking to, how you're talking to them. So your level of professionalism it just went through the roof as a free agent and just being in the National Football League. So
nice.
I learned it. Yeah.
So did you make the team?
I did not.
I
actually ended up getting released during a preseason game. During a preseason
game, okay.
And that was showing me how tough the business is. Like, they literally will cut you and send you right home. So that's a great learning. So the next time that I came back, I never knew I'd get an opportunity like that again. So I ended up the next whole year working in LA Unified as an after-school teacher and after-school supervisor, where you kind of watch the kids in LA.
Okay.
And I would go out every day or every other day, and I would pedal. So I did that for a whole year before I went back and got an opportunity in San Francisco.
Okay, so after that you go to San Francisco.
Yeah.
All right.
So San Francisco was a great opportunity. It was close to home, and I was very confident and comfortable in my skills because I was older, and I had pedaled for a whole year.
And how did that come together, like, for you getting an opportunity to go try out for San Francisco 49ers?
So I got rid of my old agent, and I got my brother's agent, which was Don Yee.
Okay.
So Don Yee's actually the current agent right now for people like Garoppolo, Tom Brady, and those guys. So, and he's from Sacramento.
Okay.
He said, okay, let me see what I could do. So he called San Francisco. San Francisco said, okay, we can get you a workout. So I ended up going over there, getting a workout. I ran a terrible time. I think I ran a 4.6. I ran a 4.6.
Which is pretty decent for a corner, though, still, you know.
4.6 in the
about.
44 corner, they'll run you up out of here. So I was so disappointed in my time. I said, man.
That's what Sherman and all them run, though. There's not too many 4.4.
Yeah, but they don't walk in a free agent if you run the 4.6 because you don't have the history.
Okay. I
So,
that, yeah.
But here's the difference. The difference was once you're done running, then you go do what these drills call one-on-ones. Now, one-on-ones is what I enjoy a lot, is because that's when you get to show your skill, when it's you against another person and your skill set. And I think that's where I had good success. And San Francisco ended up calling me back, and then I got signed by San Francisco.
Okay.
So it was I think my enjoyment of one-on-ones throughout the years helped me in those moments, is because I really enjoyed just competing, and they saw that, and they felt that there was an opportunity for me there.
And what year is this?
That was in 1999.
99.
Yeah.
So you made the San Francisco 49er team.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Which I know, so tell the people.
I did. Great opportunity to play with some great players. Jeff Garcia, T.O., Jerry Rice, Steve Young.
So you got to play with T.O. and Jerry Rice.
I played with those guys.
You got to lock them up and
I competed.
You hear that, you guys?
He
was playing against the GOAT. He got to play and lock up Jerry Rice during practice, y'all. You hear that?
And Jerry
and Terrell Owens.
So
two legends.
I got to tell you something about both of them, and this is for the people at home, just so you know. Jerry Rice, when people say he's the hardest working player, it's not a lie. Jerry Rice would come to practice, be the first one. We don't practice until 7 in the morning. He's there at 6. He's the first one in, and he's the last one out. You hear that? First one in, last one out. He literally did that as the best player. So when people say things like, he works hard, he's the first one in, last one out, some people aren't just saying that. That's really what they do. So take that to heart. That the greatest player, Jerry Rice, literally, even in his later years, was still doing those same things that got him there. So I want to kind of tell you guys that, because that humbled me to where I knew I needed to put in the work if he's doing it.
And you guys always put in the work, and he made you want to even step it up even more.
Right.
So you hear that, you guys? Hard work. So you saying, like, you're talking about working around practice, you're talking about working when there's no practice, you're talking about always got to work.
Oh, in whatever you do. And whoever's really good at what they do, these are just some of the traits that I saw from those guys. So if I can tell someone else, and they can say, oh, man, he does it. And it literally shows in practice, in one-on-ones. And Jerry Rice in one-on-ones takes it just as serious as anything else. His attention to detail, and those are just some of the players that I was able to see and learn from.
So you got to play with legends, Hall of Famers, man, people you watch growing up on TV, man. How was that experience, man? How'd you feel when you was like, I'm on a team, man? You did it.
Yeah. To be honest, and for all players out there, it's just, I don't know if you really have time to take it all in. You're just busy getting ready for the next practice or the next game or the next season. And I literally did that for day in, day out, except in the couple days when I took some vacations, I got a chance to kind of settle down. But being a professional, you literally are just, for me and for my brother, it was very focused. And every day you kind of had something to do. You had a plan, and you had goals to meet.
Tight. And I'm going to tell you guys, too, I actually got to see you play live.
Oh, yeah?
I'm a Washington, D.C. football fan.
Yeah.
I went to the game against the Niners, and I actually seen you playing professional ball. I was in the stands. So I got to watch my boy actually play, you guys. He was playing against, a cat named Michael Westbrook, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't that, he wasn't no star player, nothing like that. He was good, but, my boy was playing against him, man. So I was pretty excited to see you play live like that, man. See someone I played with, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, that's my boy right there, man.
Yes, sir.
So I got to check him out, man, live in person. So can we ask you, bro, any highlights that year, anything you'd like to share, something that you did that year that you was proud of?
My rookie year at San Francisco, I just got more comfortable playing corner. Preseason was when I did my most work, because that's where you kind of earn your keep as a free agent. So I had, 2 or 3 picks in the preseason.
Nice.
Which is what showed that I can make plays. But I was making more picks in practice. So what I was doing in practice, I just did a little bit of it in the game. So again, you try to do this stuff right in practice, and then it makes the game a lot more fun. So I always had fun in the games when I knew I put the work in practice, and that's what happened at San Francisco. And I had a fun year, special teams, and I played with Lawrence Phillips. Lawrence Phillips, actually, rest in peace, Lawrence Phillips. I played with him. Yeah. And,
from Nebraska?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he had some troubled times.
Yeah, and I do have to say that he was a great teammate for me. He was a very powerful, strong, aggressive player. Yeah. But he was a heck of a teammate. So you get to meet a lot of people, and you don't get to have those kind of bonds, brotherhoods, as you get older. So I appreciate that time and just being able to see greatness and be a part of great folks.
Real talk.
Yeah.
So, NFL, Niners, season goes through. You had a cool season, got to play, got to rock and roll. So what happens after that? You continue playing with the Niners, or what's going on?
I only had a 1-year contract, so they did not re-sign me. So they actually encouraged me to go to NFL Europe.
Okay.
So NFL Europe had a draft. NFL Europe is when you get to play overseas, and they had a draft. I was drafted by Amsterdam.
Okay. That's a drink.
Man, it's a great place to go, but I couldn't go because I had passport issues. Because I wasn't even a citizen yet.
Okay.
And there were some issues that I had, so I never really got over to Amsterdam, but I got to practice in Florida.
Okay.
And when I was in Florida practicing, because I hadn't been signed yet, Kansas City saw me practicing.
Okay.
And as they saw me practicing, they actually they wanted to sign me. So they ended up signing me to Kansas City. So then I ended up going to Kansas City to play with them, and I signed a 1-year deal.
Okay.
With Kansas City Chiefs.
So you went to the Chiefs?
I went to the
Chiefs. And then you made the team?
I went to the Chiefs and did not make the team.
Did not make it. Okay.
I went to the Chiefs and I felt very confident. I was playing with Chris Dishman, Haste, Tony Gonzalez was on the team.
Okay. Playing with another legend.
Gerbach was there. There were a lot of great players there. And I was very confident at corner because of the people that I had around me. Carlton Gray was there, who's from UCLA. But what happened was I ended up getting cut. And the coach told me, go home, you'll be fine. Someone's going to pick you up. And I was so angry. I went home. And sure enough, a couple days later, I got signed by Minnesota.
Okay. So now you go to the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
And you, what, that's preseason or what is that? You make the team?
I go to the Minnesota Vikings at the end of preseason in the last week. So in the last week, I go to Minnesota.
You said at the end of preseason, you said? Or right before it ended?
At the end of preseason when they're making their final cut. So it's actually going into the first week of the season.
Okay.
And they bring over about 5 players. I'm one of the 5 players. We fly in. We get a little van. We go to practice. Everyone spats up, gets ready, goes out. And I just go practice. And I ended up getting a couple picks at practice. And then I go home. We all, just go home. And then we wake up the next day. We come back to the locker room, and all the locker rooms are gone. All the players that I came in with were gone.
Oh, wow.
And they had my name signed up on a real locker, and they were like,
oh, wow.
You made it, buddy.
Congrats, bro.
All right, and you're in. So that's how fast it happened. So about 6 people came in. Next day, it was only 1 person. I got signed, and I was there for 2 years.
Oh, okay. So you played 2 years with Minnesota.
2 years in Minnesota.
We're going to show you guys some stuff,
Yeah.
So, who did you get to play with on that team?
I played with a lot of great players. I played with the freak, super freak, Randy Moss, Dante
Another
Culpepper.
legend, Randy Moss, you guys. He got to play with Randy Moss, lock him up in practice.
Yeah. Who else? Dante Culpepper, Randy Moss.
Culpepper.
Robert Griffith, who actually went to San Diego State and played with the Vikings for many years.
Okay.
Orlando Thomas, Chris Dishman, who ended up coming from Kansas City over to the Vikings.
And then Carter was on that team too, right?
CeCe was on the team.
Chris Carter, you guys, another legend. So he got to play against 4 legendary NFL receivers, you guys, and practice with these guys. That's big. That's a Sacramento Sac High guy, man.
Yeah, no, it was an honor. And then Denny Green, rest in peace.
Danny Green got to be coached by Danny Green, you guys.
Or who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Took a chance on me, and I appreciate that. So Denny Green was a great coach, and all the staff there were great. All they did was they gave us opportunities, and also all you can ask for in life is an opportunity, and we try to take advantage of it.
Real talk. Yeah. Any highlights you can share with us? Some things you like to share about us when you was playing?
In my years there, my most fun was probably during the championship games, the playoff game against the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, which we're going to show you guys some of that.
And also in the championship game, we lost to the Giants. But the playoff game was my first start in the playoffs, and I got the game ball. So that was a big deal to me.
Oh, yeah, that's big. And we're going to show the people that.
Yeah, so the playoffs is like, there's nothing like it. So to be able to start and to be able to get the game ball, to be able to help your team win, you can't beat a feeling like that.
Man, how did that atmosphere feel, man? We was talking about Nevada Union, you know what I'm saying? Like that game, that atmosphere. How was that atmosphere, man? I seen some stuff, man. That crowd was going, man. Like, how did that feel?
So shout out to the Eden Prairie in Minnesota and the Vikings fans out there, but it was beautiful. To play in Minnesota with those fans was fantastic.
And it was all
you're calm because the fans are there for you and they just lift you up, so you never really get tired. You're kind of calm, and I got more calm as I got older because I kind of figured out what I was doing, and that helped me kind of just settle in. So playing corner was fun. It was actually the most fun ever. It was a more comfortable place than being in my bed sometimes.
Man, that's tight, bro. Yeah. So 2 years with the Vikings.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting, man. So what happens after the 2 years with the Vikings?
2 years with the Vikings, what happened was I actually ended up tearing a ab muscle. So I tore that, and it never healed appropriately. And if you can't run around, you can't play corner. Right?
Yeah.
So
it's football for real. Injuries.
And it's a business. So thankful for the opportunities. My brother was able to play for multiple years, 5, 6 years. He played with New England. He played with the Giants. He played with the Redskins. So
my team.
Skins, right? Yeah, fun over there too. So I can't complain at all because we got the chance.
He played with someone else after the Redskins too, right? Or that was his last stint.
Redskins after the. Yeah, Redskins, Giants, Redskins.
Yeah, he went to the Redskins to the Giants. I
think. Yeah. So you can't complain. So life kind of goes on, and you kind of appreciate the opportunities, and you take them as kind of stepping stones to other things in life. So
after the Vikings, you're done with football, or?
After the Vikings, I actually had one more stint, which was with the Los Angeles Avengers.
Okay.
So I played arena
ball. Okay.
With Jamie Wheeler, who's
okay.
here at Valley High, Sac High guy, and Derek Gardner, who you guys don't know, but he played at Cal, was a good player. A lot of good players out there, and it was a great opportunity. Lived out in Marina Del Rey, and they paid for that, and you just got to play and enjoy LA life and still play football.
Man, so you had this, God bless, man, played for UCLA, went on and made your dreams happen and played in the NFL, man. Played against some Hall of Famers you got to be around and learn from and different stuff like that. Any other, can you tell us about maybe some other Hall of Famers, some other stars you might have played against, you know what I'm saying?
There are a lot of great players. Brett Favre played against him.
Brett Favre, okay.
Played against, you played against Tom? Yeah, probably Tom Brady was in there.
Played against Tom?
Or Bledsoe, depends on when it was. No, it was Tom. There's a long list of players I got to play against who I can look back and say, oh, you guys were great. Because they were all...
Yeah, if you can remember any, man, let the people know, man. They want to know.
The ones that I enjoy are the ones who were on my team, which were the great ones. The Randy Mosses, the Jerry Rices, the Steve Youngs, the Dante Culpeppers, and the great coaches, right? Mm-hmm. Coach Mariucci, San Francisco.
Coach Mariucci, you guys, who's an NFL analyst right now, big time. You got to play underneath his wing.
Great coach. And then, of course, I always have to go back to Denny Green, who actually ended up coaching a team out here in Sacramento.
Yep, the little Mountain Lions.
Yes, the Mountain Lions. And so it's a small world, but I mean, I had great coaches and great opportunities and a chance to meet some great players. And I'm sure there's a lot more that I'm missing, but those are kind of some of the highlights that I do remember.
Oh yeah, you can't think of any other star receivers you had to play against in the games or anything?
They're all talented.
Yeah,
Marvin
exactly.
Harrison,
but you know, standout names. So Marvin Harrison, another Hall of Famer.
Marvin Harrison was a tough one. Who else? Reggie Wayne was out there in Indianapolis. Who else?
Another Hall of Famer.
Well, just practicing with Tony Gonzalez and against him,
Tony
he's
Gonzalez,
bigger than you think
another
he
Hall
is.
of Famer.
A great
NFL analyst right now as well.
Who else, man? Yeah, that's a good. Garrison Hurst, I have to say that.
Garrison Hurst, running back.
Who else? Charlie Garner. I could sit here all day and just rattle off because they're all spectacular players.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate that info, man. Yeah. Man, you hear this, man. This is a Sac High, man, Sacramento kid, man, from out of the country, man, who accomplished all of this type of stuff, man. So, hey, this is good stuff, man. So, high school, college with UCLA, NFL stint, going down to arena ball. Was that it for football right there? Did you get involved in football any type of way after that?
No, I actually stopped with football because when I was done playing football, it was more like just a bad relationship, right?
Okay.
I loved it so much that once I decided that once it was over, I just turned away from it.
Okay.
That's just how I dealt with it, and I moved on and went into business banking at Wells Fargo, and then I went to Chase, and so that was a decision that I made because I couldn't halfway be in something. It was just so important to me. I kind of had to turn away from it.
Okay.
And That's what
So you didn't want to get involved in coaching or nothing like that. It was just kind of like, I did my thing. I was blessed to do it.
Yeah.
So.
And I still appreciate the game. So I still enjoy the game, but it's like, imagine just having a relationship with something that you love so much and it doesn't work out. I just had to step away from it for a while.
So with all your success, man, and everything you got to accomplish, man, from our city, any advice you can give, like any kids that are trying to play football now, anything that they're trying to do, any advice you can give people, as far as like, worth ethic and what they need to do?
Well, I would say first, focus on being a good student.
Okay.
And
hear that, you guys?
And the reason why that's important is because the game is only a certain window, and that window will open and close. If you're fortunate and you get to play and further your career, you can also be a coach in those things. But the important part is to really learn the game. Be respectful. Do what your parents ask you to do. It sounds simple, but your parents and your coaches usually want the best for you. So if you kind of do that, it's a good habit to build. And if you truly believe in something and love it, lean into it. Do it as hard as you can, and always look for ways and hang out with people who kind of make you better. And it's all possible. There are a lot of talented people out in this world, a lot. But if you stay committed, keep asking questions, and keep working to get better, you have a good chance of being successful.
Real talk. Any other last words? Anything else you would like to tell the people, man, that they don't know, or you want them to know, or just anything you just kind of want to shoot out there to people?
Just for, what would I try to tell people? Sports are fun. Sports is an opportunity to express yourself. When you do have little kids, I have a daughter right now. She's 11.
Okay.
So she's playing soccer and she runs track, right? She's a student. So she's a really good student right now. And in track, she really enjoys it. In soccer, she's figuring things out. So as a parent, what I try to do is I'm trying to support her and just show her that whatever she decides to do, she has to put the work in.
Okay. And
embrace competition. Like, if you're going to be there, you have to compete. And once you love those types of things, you have a good chance of being successful in. That's not it. And I'm not the biggest. I ran fast times and I ran slow times.
You and your brother, man, was chiseled, man.
But we did, right. And that's from being
chiseled.
But I could control that. So I figured out what I could control, and I tried to control that to the best of my ability.
Okay.
And that's what gave me confidence, is knowing what I can control and control that really hard. And then other things will just happen. So all football players out there, just enjoy the craft and be the best at your craft. When you love something and you know your craft, you know the best plumber. You know it. Like right when you see their work, you know they're the best one. Engineer, doctor. It doesn't matter, even if it's a sport or not. Work to be the best at your craft. And that's something that you could do with anything, including sport, and you'll be fine.
Real talk. Man, we're in here, you guys, with no other than Wasswa Serwanga, man. Sac High. We just want to let you know, bro, we appreciate your hard work and everything that you're dedicated yourself to become successful, bro. I'm proud to know you. I'm proud to have played with you, bro. I talk about you all the time through years when it comes to football and stuff like that. So it's an honor having you here today with us, bro. Like I said again, we appreciate all your hard work, all your dedication, man. We want to give you all your flowers, all your props for everything that you did, man, for Sac High. And moving forward in your future, man, and everything that you're doing now, everything that you will continue to do, man. God bless you, bro. Hey, once again, man, we're going to say it, man. Wasswa Serwanga, man, UCLA. You know what I'm saying? To the San Francisco 49er, man. To Minnesota Vikings. You feel me? NFL player, college player, Sac High. Yee!
Sac High. 9 quad, represent. Thanks, Zach.
Wasswa Serwanga starting his second game at cornerback. Robert
Let's
Griffith
go.
and Orlando Thomas.
No doubt.